Did I fall asleep? Alright, so Dollhouse Season 2, this is some awesome stuff right here. One of the best TV seasons ever made, in my opinion. First off, if you have not seen my first season review, go watch that, so just go watch the first season review first if you have not seen it, just because it'll make it easier on the both of us. Okay, so before I get started, just get this through your head. Dollhouse, it's not Joss Whedon's masterpiece. All the stuff I'm going to say, it's true, the show is awesome, but it's not Joss Whedon's masterpiece. Firefly is Joss Whedon's masterpiece. At times, perfect. So, let's get started. Alright, so, as always, I'm going to start with the characters. Echo, played by Eliza Dushku. Where we leave off last season, she just had a bunch of personalities dumped into her head. She's kind of a little not there, but, Topher wipes them all away, so it's okay. That's not true, as Boyd says. She's not a blank slate anymore. She's a person. She's gotten all the personalities in her head, and no matter what Topher does to wipe them, she somehow figures out a way to hold on to them, and so she's a person. Like, she has all the personalities living in her head, and so she's become a person of her own. Then there's Boyd, played by Harry Lennox. He's the head of security at the Dollhouse, and I really enjoy seeing his interaction with Echo and Paul and pretty much everybody. You can tell he loves Echo. He loves everybody around the Dollhouse. When I say loves, I mean just... They're like family to him. And he hates seeing any of them. He hates seeing anything happen to any of them. Then there's Topher, played by Fran Kranz. The programmer at the Dollhouse... yeah. I still love Fran Kranz in the role. I love all his little ticks, and he always has like the half-closed eye and the always waving his hands around. Basically the stereotypical nerd. So I like seeing Topher in the episode Belonging. I love seeing him develop a conscience. I love seeing him develop morals and a set of ethics. He goes through a lot of change over the series. Topher is the equivalent of Willow and Wesley in the show, in the sense that he's the one that changes the most throughout the show. Then there's Paul Ballard, played by Tomo Pennicott. He doesn't really change throughout the series. I mean, he kind of becomes more accepting of the Dollhouse and Echo and Boyd and all of them, but he doesn't really change that much. He does, however, go from imprints are fake. Whenever he's around Echo, he's like, oh, you're fake. But then as he kind of becomes an imprint in a way, he says to Melly in that one scene, it doesn't matter anymore. We feel what we feel. It doesn't matter whether they're imprinted or real. It just doesn't. Then there's Victor, played by Enver Jokai. I learned how to say his last name. He becomes one of Echo's best friends. I love seeing his relationship with Sierra grow stronger. There's this scene, he's getting up out of the chair, and they're supposed to say, did I fall asleep? But instead, he says, has anyone seen Sierra? And I just love that. That was just awesome to me. They remember each other. No matter how much they wipe his mind, they still remember each other. I love Enver Jokai's performance, though. They imprint his head with Topher. They do it twice, both in this season, and oh my gosh. He does the imprint process, and he just acts so much like Fran Kranz. It is awesome. I think the whole reason they did it a second time is just because Enver Jokai did it so well the first time. It was awesome. So, then there's Sierra, played by Deacon Lockman, sir. Pretty much the same. I like seeing her grow closer to Victor. I like how Priya, I like Priya's personality too. Like her attitude toward Echo, how they're friends. I like how she treats Echo like her sister, and she treats Adele in a way like her mother, or like her aunt, or I guess. And I like seeing Priya with the son in Epitaph too. That was a great scene. Then there's Adele DeWitt, played by Olivia Williams. You know, the head of the Los Angeles Dollhouse. Topher calls her Cruella DeWitt. After the episode where she like passes out drunk, you know, she comes back and she's like wearing this black vest, and she's like, "Oh, I am evil now." But she ends up good on the end, which is pretty cool. I like how the whole series, she has probably a big story arc too. There's lots of little subtle things that you see. Like the thing about Dollhouse, their like motto is, it's not about giving people what they want, it's about giving people what they need. And then at the very end, when she's drunk and Boy comes up to her and is like, "Oh, something, something," she's like, "Oh, do what he wants. That's what this business is about, giving people what they want." She kind of admits it to herself. And I like how she becomes Rossum's doll in a way. There's that scene where she like showers with the dolls. She just becomes, in a way, she's like, "Rossum wants me to do these really bad things, but I know that it's wrong. I know my ethics are against this." And she kind of becomes Rossum's doll, but then in the end she frees herself from it. And I exceptionally love the scene in Epitaph 2 where Zach Ward, Scott Farkas, is mouthing off Topher like, "Oh, he's insane. He thinks he's a little teapot, short and stout." And then she just stands up and screams at him, "Topher Brink is a genius, and you'll keep a civil tongue in this house, or else we will cut it off and eat it." It just makes me laugh every time because it's so cool. She becomes a mother figure to Topher, and they just... And that scene in Epitaph 1 where he's insane, he's, you know, going through all the little things, and he's, you know, Topher's just, you know, kind of losing it, and she's just like, "No, yeah." So then, let's get to the plot. I love where the show went. I like how it becomes the common warning: kids, if you play with matches, you're gonna burn down the house. And kids, adults do that too. Yeah. I like how DeWitt and Topher both kind of realize they're becoming Rossum's slaves. They're not doing what they should do. And this show does definitely warn us about the dangers of technology, even though, yeah. And now to the spoilers. So, you know, if you want to skip the spoilers, skip to this time on the clock. So, yeah. I didn't like having Boyd be the bad guy. I didn't. Harry Lennox did it really well. It's like if they made Willow bad and Buffy... Oh, crap, they did. That's another thing Joss Whedon does. He makes likable characters bad. Willow, Wesley in a way. Angel and Angelus. Yeah, it's just... don't do that. And I was really sad when Topher sacrificed himself in Epitaph 2. He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna fix what he did to the mines. You can fix what we did to the rest of the world. Your job is harder." And, you know, Fran Kranz plays it really well. He plays the paranoid schizophrenic well, too. And it's just, yeah, Topher is a very great character. And I didn't really care when Ballard died. I guess Tomo Pennick does a really good job in the show. But I don't know, I just wasn't fond of Ballard's character. He was just kind of one of those guys. He's there, I didn't necessarily dislike him, he was just kind of, And I did really like the scene where Paul joins Echo's mind, and Alpha leaves the little hard drive there, and then, you know, there's that scene inside of her mind, and Paul's like, "Am I?" And she's like, "Yes you are," that's really cool. Okay, for the outro, this is a great ending to a wonderful show. I still hate Fox. I mean, for what they did to this show, what they did to this show, what they did to Firefly, what they did to the Ninja Turtles' eyes. I mean, seriously, they have to have pupils. I mean, yeah. I definitely give this 9.5 out of 10. It's such a good series. Awesome. Well done, Joss Whedon. Thumbs down to Fox. Go and cancel Gotham now. I haven't watched it, but I mean, it's probably going to be canceled before I can count to 5, so... Yeah, well, so yeah, as usual, subscribe, see you guys later, and bye.